some of us will be coming along the way, so I think we can start for the sake of time. I hope you guys are psyched up to have fun. It's been 6 years that we are celebrating today, and we are lucky that we are having our guests here with us. So allow me to acknowledge our guests who have arrived, starting with our chief guest, Dr. David Kariuki. Dr. David Kariuki, you can just wave and then we'll come. Thank you. Also, we have our Dr. David Kariuki is the CEO of KMBC, that is Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council. The people that will be holding us in a few weeks, hopefully. The president of Kenya Medical Association, which is the professional body for doctors in Kenya. So Dr. Igwe, you can wave to them so that they can recognize it. I also want to recognize our sponsors who have already, our representatives from our sponsors who have come. So we have BANQUET. BANQUET is you see the banners that are on both sides. So we have representatives, and I'll request them to wave. So we have Nelly on my left side. Nelly, you can wave to them so that they can recognize you.
Hi everyone. Okay, congratulations, and I wish you all the best. Nelly from BANQUET.
Asante sana Nelly. We also have Edwin. Edwin, you can wave to them.
Hi everyone.
So Edwin is the one person that we want this all this time following up with sponsorship. So I'm really glad that he's here finally. Asante. And basically, I welcome all of us for this dinner. It's I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed planning for it together with my organizing committee. So cheers. Asante.
Thank you very much, Bwana Jeremy. Wapo kofi yake kidogo, makofi yake. Doctor.
You do not know me. My name is Dr. Mutuli Aida. I am the second class of JKUAT. And I'm speaking on behalf of alumni. Cindy, first of all, we thank God. I am so proud. Last week was so heavy. Some of you broke down. Some of you asked for hugs. Some of you have seen you from first year. Some of you tulikuwa na nyinyi mkiwa fourth year. And it is a privilege to welcome you to the noble profession with the name Dr. Delia Majinazeni. And be very specific, by the way. Mwingine mlikuwa mnakuja kwa exam room yangu, then calling me Dr. Who? Aida. It's changed. So, I think it's only Dr. Simon and Dr. Kariuki and Dr. Brandon Dari who do not know the journey at JKUAT and how tiresome it is. Sometimes you give up, then you asubuhi ya exam, and then you're in between crying and wanting to pass, and then you get into the exam room, and then you're told, "Young lady, you've told me nothing." And then you ask, "Hey, kwani hii verbosity yote nilikuwa nayo na pressure of speech, nimesema nothing." But anyway, that is now past us. It will build us in very many ways. You're going now for the most important part, I think, which is your internship. And I think there are a few things I want to tell you, or prepare you for that. You are not in the pre-internship conference. That was it 11th of November, if I'm not wrong. But I understand it's because you had preparations and exams. So there were lots of things that were said, and there are lots of things that you will be told. But these are the things that I need you to take home, to take to your internship, and probably throughout the rest of your life. Yeah, in this short life of mine, the first thing, be very specific with your name and who you are. There's someone on Twitter mwenye alisema jiite daktari hata kwa kijiji. You studied for that degree, 2 degrees. True or not true? Na unajua penye ulizipitia ambako ukazipata. You studied for them. So itwa daktari. Na wakikuuliza pesa iko wapi? Ni shida daktari kukua broke. Ni shida kweli kukua broke. Broke ni relative, si ndio? So be proud of who you are. Do not shrink so that other people can, wakwe felt na nini. Things are changing. Be identified as who you are because you practiced it, you were trained in it, and you earned it. Second thing goes for both ladies and gents. You are not protected anymore. You remember back then when you would do something or in Africa, then this is not your scope of your study. Hey, things are going to get wild. You have your certificates. You have your internship license or your license. Now things turn. When you are in campus and maybe someone assaulted you or mtu akuongeleshe vibaya, ama you have some issues here and there, you will be protected time to time. But here ni wewe kujitetea. And sorry to say that as Kenya, we are moving from you being the doctor and telling the patient what to do, to them coming with their symptoms ready on Google. And some, let me just say, have their own agendas. And they want you to cater for their needs. Lakini they have their own hidden agendas. I pray you never get such patients and such horrific things. But kindly remember, your Google search right now and their Google search is not the same. Sawa, uki Google CML, na ya Google CML, the way you understand and interpret things is not the same way they do what? Understand and interpret things. There is another thing. You're going to take the oath. I know what you are KMPD, wako hapa. I am surprised some of you didn't know that there was the pre-interns, now the others that when you graduate mbele yenu were having some initiative, some meeting in SSF building today. These are some of the challenges that we are facing. We do not have that unity. Munasa wingi, you see the way you're happy right now. Again, the way you're going to graduate, you're going to take very many photos. Take them, baby, take them. You will remember. Na mta blackmail mtu nayo. Just in case I get married, alafu alikuanga maybe I can smile sana towards baby Janet na wewe tunakumbuka tukichezea tuna release. Take them, but the unity that you have now, usiende msambaratike, maybe one goes to Kubu, another one. Masi, ulisema unaenda wapi internship? Mupa unaenda wapi internship? Tenwek. You see, mnagawana hivyo vyote, then you forget. Kindly, these are your brothers and sisters forever. Okay? Forever, that is my undergrad class. Forever. This is where your locums will come from. This is where, so no quick text, we, tunapatiana ngapi anti-D. Msee anakukalkuletia vizuri. Maybe uko night call zimeenda. Na saa hizo ndio umeona anti-D na uko hospital call. These are your people. These are your people where you need the extra 3 or 5 or 7 points as a CPD so that you register for your license. These are the people that you need. I say, that is my classmate. That is my colleague. Even if tuliachana 10, 20 years ago, back in undergraduate, you still need them. You still need to keep in touch. Okay? So never let go of this bond. Then, most importantly, when much is given to you, kindly return to the community in any way that you can. Okay? So, return through mentoring, return through kurudi JKUAT na kusomesha watoto aki mnaumanga vichwa. I teach you one thing too. weeks down the line, ushasahau. And I'm like, tulienda through suicide prevention measures. Mtoto. But then, because I know maybe you panic, you're tired. But then there's one who came into my exam, and told me, nimechoka. How do you start an exam and telling me umechoka? This is an exam, this is a different exam. At some point, I don't care what you did in surgery or this is a different exam. But all in all, we understand. So if you get an opportunity to even mentor another JKUAT student, to even mentor another medical student out there, to even mentor this watu wa KCPE wenye wamepata for sijui ngapi na wanafikiria wataenda Harvard wafanya medicine. Anyway, if you get an opportunity to mentor them, just mentor them. Give back to the community. And the other thing, be safe, practice. I know it is defensive medicine squeeze, but practice the right thing. Not because anyone is watching you, not because you will be awarded for it, ama utapata, like, you know, someone will clap for you as you do the right thing. No. Just imagine that there is someone who is also handling maybe your parent, your beloved auntie or uncle, your child, your spouse, who is your classmate, or who is in your cohort, maybe of internship or something like that. Now handle vibaya or is not doing the right thing. If you go back and think about that, you'd rather give the best wholeheartedly. Feel free. I think they have a way of getting feedback and everything to contact you. The KMPDC, you're still under them, they protect you, they love you, they'll just take care of everything. So mtu asikutishie, nitakutoa ile internship center, or you did this and this wrong, so nitakutoa hapa by fire, by force. No, they take care of you, they have a feedback system. If you didn't know, know now. Msiende huko mkifikiria you are not protected as young doctors, especially as interns, because you're still in your training period. Okay? Then, who has a Bible? Eric. Asome Ecclesiastes 12:12. For that, lakini come back and do masters tafadhali, or whatever your passion is. And when nimesema daktari jina kubwa, lakini unaweza kuwa broke, it is okay. If you feel like you did this, there are some for your parents, or umechoka tu na medicine, and you want to plant things and be a farmer like some of us, it is okay. So, haujashushwa. Okay? Haujashushwa. Uko na degree. Ukidecide leo uamke na license bado iko active na uende utibu watu. Is there someone who will question? No. This is the time now for you to have fun with your life. Life begins now. Okay? Anyway, so proud of you. I wish you guys all the best. You have very bright futures ahead of you. I know you're afraid what will happen to us and our future as young doctors, but I know, I trust and I know everything is going to be okay. So soldier on, be proud of where you come. Na tukiitisha strike, na strike ikuwe hapo, tafadhali. Mkuje, saizi anzeni kupractice, okay? Anzeni kukimbia morning run. Because you have to fight for your future, okay? So, and since we are less regarded these days, we just have to fight for ourselves. Achana na ile exam room or that fear that you had that if you're going to say something funny, that I am going to fail you or I am going to look at you funny. No. That fear iache huko. JKUAT, that is. We are terrible people anyway. Iyo fear iache huko. Right now, carry the little courage that you have and fight for your rights. Okay? Kama sivyo, I don't know where we'll end, and you're the muscle of this noble profession. Okay? So, all the best, guys, and God bless. I say Happy New Year.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rose Chanzu. I'm from JKUAT.
Vihiga
I'm
County.
very happy to be here.
Nice. Thank you very much. Next.
Good evening, everyone. Christine Kendi from Kiambu County. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Mark Pitao from Muranga County.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm calling to teach. I'm from West Pokot County.
West Pokot. Asante sana.
Good evening. My name is Nevin Ambula. I'm from Kiambu County.
Kiambu. Nice.
Betsy Kiri. I'm from Kericho.
Kericho. Utakuja na chai? Sawa.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Chelangat Langat. I come from BANQUET County.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
My name is Dr. Nasirian Saidimu.
Nice.
And I'm from Kajiado County.
Kajiado County. Nice. Karibu sana.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Shali Okonji from Kisumu County.
Kisumu County. Asante sana. Naonekana Kisumu kuna madaktari warembo.
Hey everyone, I'm Jenga Perez and I'm from Nairobi County.
Watu wa Kanairo. Okay. Asante sana.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Renoy Sophie from Narok County.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Wino Vincent from Kisumu County.
Thank you very much, Kisumu County.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
I am Dr. Ian Kigamba and I'm from Nyeri County.
Nyeri County. Hapo sawa.
God is good
all the time.
I'm Eric Budhia from Muranga County.
All right, asante sana. Karibu sana.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
I am Dr. Elvis Kichuma Koich from BANQUET County.
Asante sana.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janet Kibutai, Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Elgeyo Marakwet County. Chatukuja hapa nyuma. Yes.
My name is Dr. Mopa Mbeta. I'm coming from Kwale County.
Nice.
Good evening.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Nasike Karani and I'm from Busia County.
Busia County, asante sana.
Good evening.
Yes.
I'm Dr. Nelima Kidome from Makueni County. And
Makueni
I'm happy
County.
to be here.
Asante sana.
Good evening.
I'm Dr. Njoki Njoroge from Kiambu County.
From Kiambu County. Sasa I'm headed to this table. I'm very busy, but I know they'll just say their names.
Dr. Simon Kigondu from California.
Asante sana daktari. Good evening. Yes.
Dr. David Karaoke. I think I've not had Nakuru County, have I? So, Nakuru County.
Nakuru County, asante sana. So,
Good evening.
yes.
Moturi Aida from Kisii County, Garissa County, Kajiado.
Sawa. Asante sana. Hapa. Asante. Good evening.
Mosongo Momanyi from Kisii County.
Asante sana. So that was amazing. Kwa wasi wote wamesema akaunti zao, hakuna mmoja amesema their number. Hakuna mtu amesema akaunti 047. Kuna Nairobi wamesema. Okay, thank you very much everybody. That was amazing. So me, I'm from Siaya County and I'm proud to be Nairobi. So just to peleke vitu as per the program, I'd like to call upon the class rep. The class rep mazee najua umetushikilia imbo vyote pamoja. So calling upon Dr. Faith Chelangat. Akuja tuambie some. Akuja na makofi tafadhali, akuja na makofi.
I'm so glad to be here today. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for making it to this place. Thank you so much, and I want you to feel happy, relax, and be at your happiest. Make sure you make the best out of this moment. The second thing, I think it's wise. I thank you for allowing me to serve me for 6 years. It's been a nice 6 years. At times I was a little bit strict, at times I was friendly, but it's been a nice journey. And I'll have a few things because we have guests today, so you want to listen to the guests. You don't want to listen to tomorrow's class is at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. venue to be confirmed. I know you don't want to hear that today. Just I have a few words today to tell you as my colleagues. The first one is about friendships. As we leave this place, I emphasize that let our friendships be stronger. Let us know how our friends are doing. When we leave JKUAT, I want to be able to know how each and everyone is doing. At least when we come to class, I'm able to see you people. But from today, we're going to leave to all those counties we mentioned, and I want to be able to know how each and everyone is doing. So the only way I'll be able to know how each and everyone is doing is if your friends are close. Let's keep our friendships, let's make our friendships better. Let's be so intentional about our friendship. If you know me as a friend, I'm so intentional about seeing my people. I'm so intentional about knowing how they're doing. Let's be there for each other. Let's protect each other. The second thing is, let us get to love God. We don't know, the future is so unpredictable, and we have a lot of young people dying. And my call today is that let us know God as a person, as a class. Let us get to know God at an individual level. The third thing is let's work hard. Whatever, everything that we do, let's give our best. Dr. Aida has talked to us. You know, she's been there, so she knows. Let's follow what we've been told, and let's follow what the other guests have said. And then the last thing is let's be kind to each other. Let's be kind to the people we'll be working with. Let's be kind to our parents. Let's be kind to every person. I'm learning that there is a lot that each and every one of us is going through. So every day, let's wake up choosing to be kind to each other. Let's wake up choosing to be a better person. Let's wake up choosing to be accommodative to the person seated next to us. Otherwise, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that you're all here today. You all look so beautiful and so handsome. If I had not picked a husband, I would have. You look so nice. He always dressed like that. Yeah. Thank you. Otherwise, thank you so much. There are our colleagues who we are leaving behind. Let's reach out to them. Let's give them time to process what's happening. Then with that, let's reach out to them. Let's know how they're picking up, with maybe joining the next class or doing the supplementaries. Let's reach out to our friends. And to the doctors we lost in this journey, we lost Dr. James, we lost Dr. Stephanie. We still remember them. Let's pray for their families. Let's keep being there for each other. That is my message today. Our guests, thank you so much. We're so honored to have you. Our sponsors, thank you so much. I know we have someone giving the vote of thanks, but kama mama ya darasa, let me say thank you. Otherwise, thank you. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Wow. Okay. JKUAT MBChB. Karibu sana Dr. David. Wapa makofi yakikucha. Asante.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Congratulations. I'm seeing happy faces around that, but ukiangalia pengine sio mingi, ama ukiangalia kwa upande ni mingi. Yeah, but I think it was always a very good feeling to get to where we are today. The many things that you may have gone through in the last 5, or nowadays it is 6 years. How long is it? 6? 6 years, yeah. When I did it was 5. So that's why sometimes I have to remind myself. You know, when a farmer wants to plant, what do? They prepare their land, isn't it? So you wanted to become a doctor. You have been preparing yourself for the last 6 years to get to where you are today, to start the new journey for your profession. Before now, I don't know if unfortunately I did not even ask whether the exams are out or not. So, but being from the council, we believe everyone who has reached nearly or is at final year will eventually be with us very soon. So if you are not there yet, we are waiting for you. You will be coming on our side very soon. So you've done your preparations. My idea is to urge you that the only thing that is between you and your dream as a doctor is the internship. So even if you do nothing else, make sure you complete and undertake your internship. We have very many of us who, after their internship, maybe their passion was being pilots, and today they are pilots. But we've registered them. Why? Because they still went to the end of what they had started with. Many have gone to other areas to do various other things. But it is so important because it is the base for your life. Your 6 years, you have formed a base for the next part of your career, part of your life. Even if medicine was eventually not going to be the end for you, it is the stepping stone to everything else that you will ever become in your life. And as you sit here today, you can become anything that you want in your life. When you did embryology, what did they say? I know it is more than 6 years ago, but they were talking about pluripotential. You know, what did that mean? That first cell, second cell, blastocyst can end up becoming what we are seeing in this room today, isn't it? So even you as a new graduate, you can become anything you want. Yes, myself and Kigondo here, we decided to do obstetrics. So though I'm the CEO at the council, I'm an obstetrician. My number is A4140. I'm yet to pay for my next year's license, so that when people say the system is not working for them, I will do it on 31st to make sure that it is still working. Anyway, that's another story for where you are headed. So, thinking that what I need to say today, I didn't have to write down anything, is just to tell you maybe a bit about the journey that you will take from here to when you want to retire. So one, I start by telling you about the council. The Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council is the body mandated in this country to register and license doctors for their practice. So I'm sure in the 6 years you have been in school, it had never occurred in your mind that such things will happen. So we at the council, we don't want to tell you that we are your prefect, but we are the ones who take care of you after you leave medical school. When you transit from medical school and the university to come and practice and treat Kenyans or anyone across the world, we are the people who give assurance to whoever you are treating or whoever is employing you that you are a good doctor, that you know what you're doing, and that we have confidence that you have been taught well. Why do we have the confidence? Because we went back to your training school, it never started without us. It would not be there. And if it started without us, you would be having another journey of sitting an exam that we set for us to get convinced. Fortunately, your school was assessed and it passed. And what we now say is that a graduate from Jomo Kenyatta University is eligible to join internship directly as long as they have passed their final exam at JKUAT. So you will hear some people when you go to internship telling you, we did a pre-internship examination. It's because we don't know their schools. We don't know where they have come from. So one of our functions is to regulate the training of medical and dental practitioners in the country by ensuring their schools are up to date. And sometimes we come once every 5 years to reassess whether they are still doing what we agreed. So after you finish school, and before I leave the training part, we have gone ahead and agreed as East African community that if we jointly assess your university with medical councils from the rest of East Africa, you will be eligible if Kenya registers you through our medical council to work in Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, DRC without having to sit an exam there. All you need is a license from the medical council here. So, and Kenya is leading in wanting to take that across Africa, that we get recognized across Africa. But they are saying beyond East Africa, you may start by doing an exam. That's something else. So once we have registered your school and it has trained you, we then now welcome you to the Club of Medical and Dental Practitioners and register you to work alone. So the period that is called internship is a mandatory period by law. We call it the Cap 253 of the laws of Kenya. So as you get into medicine and practice, read Cap 253 and everything about it. It will tell you how you get licensed, how you get registered, and the rules that govern discipline of doctors. Because we as a council exist to guide you as professionals and protect the public that you treat. So we are also there between you and the clients that you'll be treating. Sometimes they say you didn't treat them well. We come and assess whether what Dr. Kariuki did is the same thing that Dr. Kigondo would have done. And we say whether it is right, the complaint, or it has no merit. So we exist for that purpose also, for what we call discipline and ethics. And I'm sure you have been taught ethics, so now you are going to be practicing them. So internship being mandatory is a period where you are going to be translating the knowledge that you have been taught. From Daktari's presentation here, she must have been one of your teachers. So the knowledge you have gathered from them, translating it into clinical practice is what internship is about. So it's going to be exciting because you are going to learn new things. In fact, during internship is when you learn most about the practice of medicine. And it is also the period where you also gauge yourself and start thinking about where do I want to go from here? Will I go into clinical medicine, and in all its specialties? When I say clinical, I mean pediatrics, medicine, obstetrics, surgery, anything clinical, psychiatry and all those, or non-clinical. And there are many. So that's why we say we are pluripotential, because we are going to get a time to assess how do you feel. So if you say you are going to become an obstetrician or a surgeon, remember, even where you are now, you have been seeing when you go for your clinical rotations. If you think in future, being called at night is going to be a problem for you, then you'd rather not take those things that can get you called at night. Those things that will wake you up at 2 a.m. because that's when, labor starts, that's when accidents happen. So obstetricians and surgeons are people who work nearly 24 hours. They don't know when the next one will come. But pathologists can always get it done tomorrow morning, isn't it? Yeah, so if you find them doing it at night, it's by choice, yeah? So sometimes we don't get choice. So what we choose to do in the future should be guided also by what we think, because there's something we call ethics and professionalism. Yeah, so a doctor who is called at 2 a.m. and feels like kukanyaga blanket is better than responding to that call shouldn't have taken that line, isn't it? And so you will have to learn, you learn a lot about being called, at night during internship. There is a lot of that, because remember, to us, the specialists, you are the first on call. The patient is first seen by you. If I came and saw the patient before you, you will not learn, because I already have made the decision. Maybe you will find me already doing what was supposed to be done next. So the reason that the intern becomes fast is so that they learn. They will have come up with a plan. Then the next person, who probably is the one who just graduated before them or a few years before them, will come and tell them, it is right, let us continue, or we are going to change it this way, or we are going to do this as the next step, or if we need a procedure, this is how we normally do it. The third person, who is the specialist, comes in if there is more trouble. So if you find many times the specialist seeing a patient before you, you are doing a disservice to yourself. And don't be surprised when that person says, I need more time with this person, because they are coming to learn when I've already done what they should have done. Because they need to get comfortable that if I release Daktari to be licensed by the council, and next year they are somewhere across this country treating my sister, brother, nephew, relative, friend, will I be comfortable or not? So that becomes part of why you need to be fast. So in internship, sometimes things are smooth, sometimes they get rough. Resilience, so you need a bit of resilience. Nowadays, we have encouraged the specialists and medical officers that you are going to find on the ground to be helpers to you as colleagues. The reason I stand here telling you I was there many years ago, it is only time that has made me be ahead of you. But the moment you finish your internship and you get registered, we are one. We are all the same. Because it is me who will be calling you and telling you, there's a client where you are working and I need you to do this and this to help me on that one. Or I'm away, can you come and handle those patients for me, isn't it? That time it will not matter that I finished my medical school X years before you or X years after you. Yeah? Sometimes you will go and change and the line you take is not what I have taken. So I need somebody in that line to come and do it. So we are telling our specialists that these are the people who will be working with you in the next 12 months or so, or 13 months. Yeah. I remember when I was a medical officer, and sometimes in postgraduate, you get patients asking you, which specialist can I go and see privately? Do you remember those who harass you? You will most likely tell them about the one who is more friendly, the one who shows you. Yeah, and because people are of different nature and different temperaments, we as a council have now come up with a method where if you feel that there is something that is beyond what you think should be done, we have mechanisms for you to report to us. Anonymous, and even, you can identify yourself and say, I am so and so, I'm at this center and I feel this is not right, can you do something? So we give you both ways. It sometimes is written. We are going to make it online by next year maybe, so that you can report from the center where you are. In January and February next year, we have 88 internship centers across the country. We are going to visit all of them to assess whether they actually still stand as internship centers that will give us the doctors with the quality that we want. So if they all pass, then they will be ready for you. If they don't, we will probably get others. So part of what we also do is to keep inspecting the centers. And when we come, we actually also talk to the interns who are there. Because we might be told a story, but it is different when we have a discussion with the interns. So we also come and discuss with you. Right now we have 537 interns who are continuing. You are going to join a group of about 700 who are yet to start internship. We believe they will start sometime next year. Before you go for internship, we normally take you through the oath. When I graduated from undergraduate, we used to do it on graduation day. But now that numbers are many, the council was given the mandate to be giving you the oath. Why do you take the oath? It's because it is about first doing no harm, that it is for the good of the people that we meet from day to day. We are the ones with the best knowledge on how to restore people back to their health. So, and the oath has changed over time to include what Dr. said here, our own wellness. So that even as we treat people, we also need to be healthy ourselves. And so as colleagues also look out for one another to be able to ensure that all is well as you proceed with the internship. Because sometimes it can get stressful when you work 24, close to 48 hours, with just short breaks in between. So we encourage you to also come up and tell us what your experience is and what we can change for those who have been there before you. So after you take the oath, as I've said, we have 88 centers. We might add a few, we might reduce some based on our assessment of whether they still qualify. Whether they qualify is whether they have workload enough for internship planning. So kindly don't come to us to tell us, I want to change my center because it is too busy. That one is even the better. It's the better station for you. Because you can find yourself having done 10 cesarean sections by the second week of your internship. By the time you leave there, you are so comfortable that even if you have to go to Mandera and there is no obstetrician, cesarean sections will not be a problem for you. And I also encourage that whenever you are in any rotation, if you are in obstetrics and you think in your life you will never be an obstetrician, there is no harm in knowing how to do a cesarean section, handle emergencies like ectopics, miscarriages, and what should be done about them. Today I still remember the pediatrics I did as an intern. Why? Because It is good. Today, if I find somebody's baby with a problem, it's not that I cannot handle the emergency part of the problem they will have. If you get to internal medicine, diabetic ketoacidosis is something you should handle all your life, because as long as you are going to be a clinician, that is something that you might encounter irrespective of your specialty, right? So that is another thing. So before you go for internship to all these centers, we are here. I think I have had people, homes are from across the country. So our centers are also across the country. So you will learn in any of them. If we were all given a choice, maybe we would all want to be in Thika or Kiambu. So to make that process of deciding where you go for internship, we started from manual. Now we have gone digital to something that spins the wheel when you ask it to spin, and it lands you into one of our centers. So normally for placement, you will do something called balloting. That balloting takes you to one of the centers in the country for internship. Once that is done, and you get your slip for where you will go for internship, then we write to the Ministry of Health. Because as an intern, you will be an employee of the public service for 12 months. But the posting letter for employment comes from the Ministry of Health. So the work of the council in terms of internship placement is ensuring that you have taken your oath and you have been placed for internship. And then the ministry gives you the letter to that center where you are going to undertake your internship. The ministry will tell you the date you start internship. After 12 months, of course we follow up. Once the ministry gives you your posting letter, you come back to the council. We at the council now give you a license, because to practice in Kenya, you have to have a license. So we give you what we call an internship license that allows you to practice for the 12 months of internship. So once you have your internship license and your posting letter from the ministry, you report to your center. They will agree, they will tell you which day now you have started, and that's where your 52 weeks of internship start being counted. I think it is 10 or 11 weeks now per rotation. Now we have 5 rotations because we have started wanting to have doctors that are fit for purpose, fit for the future. So we have for very long been dealing with what we call, just treatment, curative medicine, and we have left a bit of the primary health part of it. So now we have included a primary health care rotation that is being called community health, and because of the increase in mental health, illnesses and issues, we have also included a mental health rotation. So you will have a rotation in obstetrics, a rotation in pediatrics, a rotation in internal medicine, a rotation in surgery, and a combined rotation in community health and mental health. So maybe 4 weeks of each, making a total of 8, then the others are 11 weeks. So then the other issues like housing and how and when to do calls and where to do calls from, the facilities that we assess, we make sure or ask them that they must have rooms for you, and if they don't have, then they must provide transport and security for you so that you can do your internship safely. So the work environment needs to be safe. After internship, you will come back to us. So you are assessed at the end of every rotation. So at the end of every rotation, your logbook, we shall give you a logbook to be filling in the procedures and patients that you have seen. There are those minimums that need to be, after every rotation, the specialist in charge of that rotation signs you out. Some centers want to do it every 6 months, so after 2 rotations. Others have been doing it yearly. We have now told them to do it every rotation, so that there is no dispute at the end of the year. When people saying, I can't even remember what she or he used to do. How was she? Did I even ever see? You know, those things. So we are avoiding them by having it done every quarter. And since we are going to make it online, we at the council will be asking the internship coordinator where you go, why your form has not been filled. And by our estimation, a rotation is over to ensure that people finish smoothly. So because these are because of things we have learned as people do internship. So we take action. And where there is need to be followed, we now follow actively to ensure that the intern finishes smoothly and gets registered. Right now we have registered about 14,500 local doctors and 3,000 foreign doctors who are working in Kenya. So in the next 15 months or so, I'm seeing another 50 adding on our list, isn't it? Because everyone will finish their internship. Once you finish and all your forms are with us, in less than 5 or 7 working days, we have given you your registration license. And once we put you in our register, you're in our register for life. We never remove you, except when there is gross misconduct. Gross misconduct happens if you use your knowledge wrongly. You must use your knowledge like the class rep said, the way it is supposed to be used. Professional, ethical, with integrity and trust by anyone that you meet. So your knowledge is only for the good. And we take the oath because we are oathing to do it for the good. Because the many things you have learned. Now you know what to do if you want me dead in the next minute. You know where to touch, you know where to cut, you know, yeah. So that is why we say we are only going to do it for the good of the population. And we are doing it for the good of our country. For this country to develop socioeconomically, its people must be healthy. So we are leaders in ensuring that our people stay healthy for them to be able to continue with their normal socioeconomic activities. So if we don't see them on a daily basis or as regularly as they need to be seen so that they get back to their normal health in the shortest time possible, it means that we have failed them and they will no longer trust us. And we are failing on our part in terms of the oath that we have taken. I don't want to take too much time. I just wanted to tell you the processes that you will take. Once we register you, so there will be 2 things. We will register you into the permanent register, and then you will again ask us for a license to now practice that year. So the license allows you to now practice independently. That now somebody can come and claim Dr. So-and-so. During internship, we give you the internship license. If a question comes, it is your supervisor who is the problem. They have not guided you well, unless they prove. But after we license you, we register you finally, it is now on you. So that's why I'm telling you the internship is a very critical period for you to learn everything that you need to. So after that, if you feel that you are not comfortable with what you are in, today there are surgeries I cannot bother attempting, despite being registered and being registered as a specialist, because they are not in my line of practice. So I refer them to the person who needs to undertake them. So every year you will get a license. After being licensed, You can decide to work for a short while, and then you can decide to get to postgraduate and learn, the specialties that you want. The reason we tell you to read about the law in CAP 253, it tells you again about registration as a specialist and what you need to have done as a specialist in this country, so that you don't go and come back and have challenges with registration. Like now the law says in Kenya, for you to become a specialist, you must have undergone a training that takes a minimum of 3 years. So if you go to a country that tells you it is 2 years, wachana nae, because you will come back and registration will be a challenge. But you can keep checking, because laws also keep changing. So if it changes, because the rest of the world is moving to, now it is even in most countries 4 years. So you might even hear the Kenyan law has changed to 4 years. So keep checking to keep yourself abreast with those things. Yeah. Right. I think I will want to stop there. It may have looked like a class lecture, isn't it? But it's because that, information is power. So that when you come and, like now we are having a lot of challenges with maybe, let's say, somebody who went and trained as an undergraduate outside of Kenya. So when they come, they cannot get registered, because according to the Commission on University Education, you must have had a C+ and a B in those clusters that you already had for you to join JKUAT. So now they are not registrable in Kenya. What do we do with them? And it is written in the law. So those are some of them. That's why I'm telling you, postgraduate is a bit easier, because it's just the number of years. And when, after you come back, if you do it from foreign countries, we get, if it is surgery, we get surgeons from Kenya to do something we call a peer review. We don't ask you to sit an exam, but our surgeons who we have registered will have a discussion with you, and they assess whether that surgery you have learned or whatever you have learned is the same thing we teach in Kenya, and they say yes, register him or her, or no, let us give him 1 year in one of our training institutions that has a surgical department or obstetric department, for us to be very sure. Why? We don't want this person to get into our system and come back to us for discipline or in court asking to pay, for lives that have been lost. And since we are protecting our people despite guiding you, then we do all those things. So KMPDC is a very friendly place. Don't fear coming to see us. We are next to the DOD, so we are very secure. Usiogope kututembelea. And whatever we do it for your good and for the good of the people that you treat. When you go to internship, there are many things that you are going to meet. And finally, you will get some boom in the form of salaries, which Dr. Kigondo and team fought for and keep fighting for. And maybe by the time that you get your first one, just to let you know, it takes like 3 months for you to get your first one. So when they give you a letter from the Ministry of Health, there are things they will ask you to provide. And as a group, make sure everyone has provided those documents. They will ask you for your ID, your certificate, sign some declaration, provide, a number of documents. Those documents are used to now enter you into some register somewhere and give you a unique number for the time that you are going to be an intern. Now, because it is easier to do it for a group, if a few people in the group have not provided, everyone gets delayed. So it is best if everyone provides those documents, then it gets faster. Getting the unique number in the public service is a process that takes up to 8 weeks there. So 8 weeks is like 2 months, because the Ministry of Health, once it receives all your documents, they now write to what is called the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission is the only organization in the country that gives that unique number, not the Ministry of Health. So they take all your documents down to the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission goes through its processes and now passes what they call the commissioners. They sit and approve the 90, 100 to be given. Once those documents are done, they are taken back to the ministry. I'm telling you this because at the ministry, you know, normally you will go with a lot of force. They will not tell you those things. They will just tell you we are still working on it. So once that is done, then you get into the ministry payroll and they start paying you. Once you get your first boom, all of a sudden, the gentleman will become very handsome to the MTC students and other staff in the hospital. The ladies will also become suddenly. Why? Because there is something that can support. It does no harm. The only thing is moderation and be focused. After the 12 months, you don't get automatic employment, isn't it? So the money you receive in those 12 months, make sure some of it can take you beyond that period where you might now need to look for what else to do. So that's what I was driving at. The rest was stories. So just make sure that it is the beginning of your now independent learning on your financial management. Because even when you open a private practice, you will need to manage the money that you make, isn't it? So learn to do that. Of course, either during or after internship, keep updating yourselves with knowledge, both medical knowledge, because as to license you, we will always want you to have share evidence of continuously developing yourself. But now we are also telling you, develop yourself both in the technical things we have learned in medicine and non-technical, so that you make yourself broader. Yes, as I stand here before you, after even doing all these obstetrics and the hysterectomies and such, myself, Mundia, everyone here, Elizabeth, we have also done masters in business administration. It's just to broaden our. Kigondo will tell you the things he has also done beyond. If you tell him about how to negotiate, how to solve disputes, it is beyond the obstetrics. So also broaden yourself so that you can do both what you know and those other things that people sometimes say you don't know. Yet you are some of the best performers before this. Then all of a sudden people think accounting is too difficult for you, so a doctor cannot manage. So keep showing them that you can be able to do it, and it increases your skills. I want to stop there. I know my colleagues who are around will add more, but finally just to welcome you very much to the Doctors Fraternity. Where we are, we require people like you in a few years to continue these journeys that everyone else started and is continuing to do. I wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Congratulations once again. By next year, I know we shall meet when you are taking your oath, ready to go for internship. Asante.
Wow.
1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then the last one, we clap please. Okay. So we start. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We did it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
I want to appreciate Dr. David Kariuki. For those who are not here when we started, I introduced him and said he's the CEO of KMPDC. So for those who don't know KMPDC is Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council. Tumekuwa tukifanya ethics juzi some of us tulipatiwa assignment ya kufanya Hippocratic oath, si ndio? Mnakumbuka presentations that you did? So this is the team that normally takes, administers, if that is the word, that oath when we are after finishing school, which is a few days from now. So iliwaambia wale wenye mlikuwa hapa, mark your sura. Those are the people that, and he has also talked about balloting. You guys know that nowadays there's a different way of balloting. He has talked about internship extensively, and I don't want to preempt what he has said. So from this point, I know all of us should be angry. Cindy, some of us might have intentionally skipped lunch for this, Cindy, myself included. So at this point, I want us to take a break from the speeches so that we can take supper and then we continue with the rest of the program. So I'll request that the DJ gives us.
So what we'll do, Davy, akatu space kidogo ya tumbo, najua tumevuta a lot of hewa. So we stand up kidogo, DJ atatupatia kwa mengine moja safi, alafu nafundishe kudansi ngoma. Ukienda ushamboni uringe nayo, sawa? You go call children, kuja nirudisha ngoma. Let's first place. Alipepo kidogo, twende kazi. Right. You are really student, right heart. Unabi, chikune kidogo. Tunasema my lips, your lips, they touch, we kiss unagi.
I stand here this evening to present the Young Doctors Network of the Kenya Medical Association. So how many of you have heard about KMA-YDN? By a show of hands. How many of you are members of the WhatsApp group? Yeah? Quite a number of you. So I just have a short presentation on YDN and who is YDN. So YDN is a committee under the Kenya Medical Association that was formed to connect, develop and support young doctors, and to also enhance professional and personal development. So what does YDN do? So we champion for the health and the well-being of young doctors in this country, and this includes the mental health. YDN is also a forum whereby young doctors are able to network, to share their experiences and be able to come up with the solutions for the challenges that they face. And we also provide an avenue for young doctors to collaborate internationally. We are members of the World Medical Association. So when you join the Kenya Medical Association, you automatically become a young doctors network member by virtue of you being a young doctor. And also under the international collaborations, you become a junior doctor network member. And for the first 5 years, it's actually the membership for JDN is free. So our team, we are led by my convener, Dr. Mari. Dr. Mari, you can stand and wave to the congregation. Yes, that's Dr. Mari. We also have different working groups. So if you want to join the Young Doctors Network, you will be interested in joining in any of the sub-committees that we have. We have the Mental Health and Wellness Committee, the Membership and Mentorship Committee, Communications, and also the Career Development Committee. And the faces that you see up there are some of the leaders of the committees. So as I mentioned, for you to become a Young Doctors Network member, you need to join KMA. And our CEO, Dr. Kigondu, is going to give more information about what Kenya Medical Association is.
So these are some of the opportunities that you can access as a young doctors member. We were able to represent Kenya in the just concluded World Medical Assembly in Berlin. Yeah, you can see the faces. So of note is that next year, 2023, Kenya will be hosting the World Medical Association Council session, and for you to be able to attend this, you need to be a member. So we will give more information on how to sign up to become a World Medical Association member and how you can also join the Junior Doctors Network. So our contacts, you can reach us on YDN email. That is ydn@kma.co.ke. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about internship. First of all, congratulations and welcome to the profession. I know it's not been easy, it's been a tough 6 years, but finally you made it, and yeah, welcome to the profession, and feel free to interact with all of us. Feel free to seek mentorship and be guided as you progress in your career. So there's a lot that you can do as a young doctor, and some of the things include leadership. Taking up leadership wherever you go. In the internship centers, I mean, you can be the interns leader who coordinates activities, and that's a form of leadership. There's a lot that you can do to advance your career. That does not necessarily mean having to do, a postgraduate in medicine. My colleague is going to talk more about career development. But there are a lot of leadership opportunities. I happen to be a fellow of the Mandela Washington Fellowship. I know some of you have heard about it. So those are some of the things that you can apply for and be able to advance your leadership skills and be able to be a better healthcare advocate. I don't want to reiterate a lot on what has been said. I think you are now aware of what YDN is, the Young Doctors Network, and I would encourage all of you to join us. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. The guests that we have started from Young Doctors Network, and they have arisen up the ladder to become members of Kenya Medical Association. So we can follow the same. Allow me to mention that I didn't meet Dr. Felicitas up until recently when we met for the internship conference. And she had paid for me a course that I was doing with University of Washington when I was in 4th year, which has really grown my leadership. Some of which you guys have benefited from. So, such networks. Thank you so much. So at this point, I want to welcome Dr. Kaura Mundia, who is the Deputy Chairman of KMPDU. What do we normally say in campus? Comrades? Comrades? Now we are going to be introduced into something else, which is KMPDU. The union that has been fighting for us. Hizi mambo ya CBS zenye tunasikianga, these are the people that are fighting for us. So let's listen to what Dr. Ura has for us.
Mko wazima? I don't know whether to stand here or just move about and enjoy the dinner with yourselves. Huh? My name is Dr. Kahora Munje. So we do some little pitching. Yeah, pitching. You are aware about pitching, huh? So nikisema shoboy mnafaa kusema hoi. Shoboy. 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 Sasa that's supposed to tell you, your response is to say you're ready. Are you ready? Are you ready for the world now? You've just completed your school, and I'm seeing the theme for your event is opportunities for young medical doctors preparing for practice and beyond. That's a mouthful. And it means a lot. So, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Kahura Mutia. I serve with the union as a Deputy National Chairperson. And probably, I don't know whether some of you have met me somewhere, but maybe I've seen some of you. You know Professor Kwech, Dental Department, Maxillofacial, Kenyatta. So maybe I saw and even spoke by some of you when you came in for the rotations. Only that now you're all jumped up, I can't even tell who is who. So that's me. I first joined JKUAT many years ago. JKUAT. I was a member of your fraternity, JKUAT. That was about 12 years ago. So I studied IT then. JKUAT was only for IT and all those engineering stuff. So I studied IT. And after a while, I went to med school now. Studied dentistry. Finished dentistry. And after dentistry, I chose to study surgery, maxillofacial surgery. And while I was doing surgery, I decided to go and do law. So I practiced law as well. And in this room as well, we have classmates. Dr. Kariuki, the CEO of Medical KPDC. He was my classmate at one time, again studying. That time I was doing business studies. So what does this mean? Opportunities for young medical doctors preparing for practice and beyond. So all these things that I've done, I graduated 10 years ago. So in 10 years' time, you could get to do that much. So don't feel like there are no jobs, there are no opportunities out here, but there are plenty. See Dr. Busibori and your class rep? Those kind of programs, you start early. Open out your eyes and don't just probably rely on working and expending your time laboring. If you want to grow yourself as a person, invest in yourself. So I would say, when I was doing my internship, that was about, again, 10 years ago, I did not want to go in locum. My mindset was not to go in locum. So probably now you only want to work, finish and get place to work and locum, make some money. So my point was to earn and save that little money that I had and go start my own practice. And I actually did it. After internship, I went and started my own practice. So I want to challenge yourself. Don't just expend your money, drink, move all over the place. If you have, like, now the situations have changed, it's not like we used to get posted at that time. So save up, join yourself in groups, and after registration by the KPDC, if you feel like you want to get capital from someone, we have these groups that can actually support you and start your practices. So start small. That primary healthcare. Kenya needs a lot of primary healthcare providers. And your position as a medical officer is really useful. So once you finish school, try and exploit your own potential. Don't just stay at home and say we are not employed. Now, I go back to my talk about the union now. You all know the union. The other day we called out for you. We did see you. Are you guys posted or yet to be posted? Or you've been posted already? Yes. You've been posted? Yes. You're yet to be posted. And there's an impending strike. Are you aware about that? There's an impending strike. It's yet to happen. So we've been having issues with internship postage and delays in salaries, payment by the MOH, and those are things that we keep on pushing at the union. So I don't know whether you know how to join the union. Do you know how to join the union? How do you get to be a member of the union? Anyone? How do you become a member of the union? And what is a union? Do you even know where our offices are? Do you know what the union does? Do you? Well, the union is all about labor. So the work you do, someone is supposed to pay you. The places that you work, there is occupational safety, issues about the workplace, and your remuneration. So the person who champions for you, the person who pushes the employer to get you the right workplace and to remunerate you better, it's a union. That's Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union. Our offices are at Kindarumalen, Blue Violet's Plaza, 5th floor. You know how much it costs to join the union? You know how much? 1,000 bob registration. 1,000 bob registration. And probably it's painful. We levy 3,000 bob a month from your pay. And you know what that money does? That money is used to design policy, advocate for laws that protect your labor, so that the employer does not get to exploit you. Right now, you'll finish school. Someone will give you 50K. Do you know how much you should be paid as a doctor? When you were starting school, you probably had this dream that as a doctor you should be paid and paid well. The situations have changed, but with the union, it is possible to still secure that much pay that you should be paid. So there are aspects of underemployment. You know what is underemployment? Underemployment is where someone does not value your skills and labor. So they give you little and give them too much. Now, if you're a member of the union, there's something called as a CBA. So CBA is a document that is made between parties, that's the employer, and the member's representative, that's the doctor's union. So here we push and push for the benefits that make you win. So if we say this is the allowances we want, we don't want this kind of allowances, we want this kind of hours to work at the workplace, so you're supposed to do 8 hours at the workplace. So if someone is supposed to make you work more than that, they're supposed to compensate you for that extra time that you put at the workplace and pay you. So issues of underemployment, if only yourselves, probably you feel like it's too expensive to join the union, but I would want to challenge you today. Join the union. Join the union, because in the last 4 years, most of the junior doctors, they don't want to associate with the union. They probably even don't get interested. But the market has issues to be sorted by the union. We have professional associations, KMA, KDA, the KMA Young Doctors Network, all that. But if you want muscle, the union has the muscle. It costs a little bit probably more than the KMA and KDA and all the other professional societies. But for someone to push and push, we work together in one ecosystem. You need to be members of the doctors' union. So that's what I would say. To avoid issues of unemployment, manage your pay, and manage any other issue and other benefits that should come to yourselves. So you have heard of what is happening in the market. You've seen University of Nairobi. They triple the school fees. You probably all want to become specialists. Is that so? You should consider to be a surgeon, a pediatrician, orthopedic surgeon, or whichever specialist that you want. And with the current times, inflation and universities saying they are underfunded by the government, someone has to push them. And we are there to push them. And we've been pushing them from the ministries of the parliament. And right now, as we speak, very soon, the University of Nairobi Vice Chancellor will want to hold them for contempt for refusing to lower the school fees for the postgraduates. Because soon you probably do your internship, and there are those persons who want to go into entrepreneurship, and there are those who want to probably go straight to school. So if you're going to the University of Nairobi, the school fees are about 700,000 right now. It's probably too costly. If you're going to do a surgical program, it costs you 3.5 million for those 5 years or 6 years. So probably that's not too easy for you. But the union pushes so that it becomes cheaper for you to access that training, because it's supposed to be accessible to all of you. Because when it's too costly, you don't get enough doctors in the country, you don't get enough specialists in the country, and our patients keep suffering, the cost of care goes up. So I want to challenge you, if you want to go back to school, we are there again for you as a union. So, I want to conclude by probably not boring you with too much issues of the union. And like I want to tell you, in life, you have to keep on moving. Life is like a bicycle, I say. And for you to maintain your balance with all the things that are happening, you heard about yesterday's presser, SRC. There's something that's known as non-practice allowance. Do you know what that is all about? Do you know you were paid that as an intern? Do you know that? In your payslip, once you get posted, when you look at your payslip or your payment statement, there is something that's called NPA, non-practice allowance. It's a pay benefit that's given to you for not engaging in private practice. So that's something that we bargained for and had it put into the CPA. Yesterday or last week, SRC says, no, we cannot pay you twice. We cannot give you a basic salary and give you an practice allowance. If you don't want it, leave it. If you want, stay on the job. So we want to still fight back again, beginning next week, and have SRC have that benefit assured for the doctors. Because the issues of, oh, you're a doctor, you get your basic salary, stay at work. If you don't want, go. So if SRC manages to actually push us to a corner, we will lose about 50K from all the doctors in the country. That's not fair. And that's why it's time for all of us to be awake to whatever is happening and to keep trying to maintain the balance. So I would say, life is like a bicycle, keep cycling to maintain your balance. Thank you. Comrades power! Comrades power! So soon, go to the website, download your form, send in your details, get your DU, and probably you're not able to pay right now, but just have your DU number. So whenever that person comes in that day and tells you, this is your pay, and you don't feel that it is right, come to us. And with that DU number, we assure you representation. So, enjoy yourselves and congratulations and keep pursuing your opportunities in life. Thank you.
I've just said it. They have the muscle. So, unity, union comes from the word unity, and they say that where there is unity, there is strength. So, and Dr. Kariuki earlier said that information is power, and I know right now you've been pumped with a lot of information, so you have the power. So, they have told us that there is something that is coming in January. So when they call you to be for that solidarity, you need to show up. So next I want to call upon Edwin Masongo is representing Pathcare Kenya Limited, which is one of our sponsors for today, to come and talk to us about their company and tell us a bit about their products, and then we will continue the rest of the program. Karibu sana. You can give him a round of applause at this time.
Hi everyone. Hi. Okay, let's stop chewing for a minute. Hi everyone. Hi. You guys, I'm wondering when we're going to fight for our rights, is this the same power that is going to come from our mouths when we are on the streets? Comrades power! Power! Comrades power! Power! Hey, surely. Wana Vice Chair, hapa sioni, labda glucose, and then we can try again maybe later. So, thank you everyone for having me here. I didn't prepare a speech. And as you know, sponsors will normally stand in front of you and beg you and tell you to please use our products. So today I'm not here to tell you please use our products. I'm just here to say congratulations on graduating. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Not so many people have gotten to where you are right now, and it gives us much joy and pleasure as Pathcare Kenya to celebrate this moment with you guys. Pathcare for a very long time was known, or is still known, as the sleeping giant, because ever since we started laboratory medicine, we were not so big in terms of partnering with fellow colleagues, doctors, and faculties. So we are now at that time where we feel that good or quality diagnostics are going to help you in achieving proper results in terms of patient treatment. And so we are now making all that noise and telling guys, hey, we're here. If you want us to make your journey simpler, slightly simpler, we are here. We are here to partner with you guys. So wherever you will be posted, I'm happy to announce that as at December 7th, we are now at about 40 laboratories in the country. And that is from 9 laboratories in July. So you can see we are in an expansive growth period where we want to meet our objective of actually partnering with the doctors in making diagnosis much better, easier, faster, convenient, available, and all these other English words that we want to use. So thank you so much for having me here, and much apologies to Madam CEO, Dr. Brenda. In all fairness, I don't feel I should have spoken before you, but now that I was given the opportunity, can I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Brenda on stage? Will you allow me, Benjamin? Will you allow me?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. So, makofi ya kilo kwa Madam CEO Kenya Medical Association. Hiyo ni makofi ya congratulations. Makofi yake ni 1, 2, 3, twende. Haya, 1, 2, 3. Tena. Funga. Fungua.
Good evening. Hi everyone, how are you feeling today? Congratulations. This is no mean feat. Going through med school and coming to this point. All of you are winners and we are very proud of you. Edwin introduced me as CEO, Kenya Medical Association. Today, I'm wearing a different hat. I serve in the board of the Kenya Medical Association SACCO, and I'm here to represent the SACCO tonight. And he said he would bore you with why you should use our products. But I hope I don't bore you. I have a PowerPoint presentation, but I believe it's important because I usually tell finalists on nights like this, that if I had that information, if I was seated where you're seated X years ago, so that you guys don't count my age, and someone took me through this, I think I'd be further, I'd have taken greater steps in my wealth creation journey. So, why KMA SACCO? My slides don't seem to be moving. Yes. So the Kenya Medical Association SACCO is your one-stop financial partner. We have a membership of doctors, their spouses, and employees. And we have a variety of innovative solutions. Is there something? I'm sorry, let me pause so that you follow. So the SACCO is for doctors, by doctors, and that's why this SACCO is very special. I'm sure you've heard of SACCO everywhere. We even have matatu SACCOs all over the place. But this SACCO is special because it was formed for doctors, by doctors, with our unique needs. And in 1998, the SACCO was registered as a savings and credit cooperative to offer financial services to KMA members. In 2001, we published our first audited accounts, financial accounts. That's a big deal. In 2011, we bought an office in the KMA Center, the prestigious KMA Center in Upper Hill. And in 2012, we amended our bylaws to include pharmacists, dentists, and medical students into membership. So if you're seated here and you're not yet a member, you should start thinking of registering with Sheldon. Sheldon, you can wave your hand so that everyone can see you. There are spouses and children over 18, medical students, KMA SACCO staff, and employees to now the principal members who are the doctors, pharmacists, and dentists. Currently, our membership is over 6,500. This 200 is of December 2021. So our membership has grown. We were number 3 in the last performance rating for the regulated non-deposit taking SACCOs. As you can see, we are after Mhasibu and JKUAT. This is a great stride. And our assets have grown over the years. It's a steady growth. From 2017 to 2021, we've grown from 2.8 billion to 5.2 billion. I'm sure today we are over that. Last I heard it was 5.6. And our loan group book has been growing the same way, from 2.1 B to 3.3 billion. So in KMA SACCO, there's no issue of there's no money to lend. Whatever amount you need, you can borrow. We are liquid, and you don't have to pay on how much of the company you own. So when you get into the SACCO, you become a shareholder. And whatever shares you have, you earn money from that. Then there's whatever you save, you earn interest. So you earn dividends and interest at the end of every year. We also offer diversified loan products. We have our traditional products, that's the development loan. We also have several other loans that we offer. And I think to note is our intern loan that is customized for medical interns to provide our financial cushion once you're posted. This is actually the reason I joined the SACCO. When I didn't know what SACCO means, I was told, pale KMA Center wanapatiana pesa. So I went to KMA Center, we found KMA SACCO offices, we took the loan. Then when your money comes after like 3 months of not having a salary, you start getting messages from the SACCO and emails to pay your loan. So once I paid, I remember I just went silent. I didn't know that you actually need to save every single month. So one important lesson that I'm also here to teach you is the value of saving. You have to be a saver from your first paycheck. And it's better to save more when you don't have as much obligations, because as you start getting families and children and school fees to pay, then you won't have as much to save. So start learning and just learning how to save and make it part of your life right now. It's very important in growing wealth. You can't grow wealth from nothing. We also have several investment opportunities in the SACCO. We've done many land projects, successful ones. I'm sure there are very many of our members here who have benefited from the same. Even Edwin is a member. Edwin? Yes, Edwin is also a member of the SACCO. We've had Ngong Phase 1, Phase 2, we had Kitengela, we had Moa Hills that is absolutely beautiful. We have Kangundo Road, and they're all sold out. So the beauty of investing through the SACCO is that the SACCO will do the due diligence for you and give you a ready title. So you don't have to do the footwork, you don't have to have the fear of getting conned. It's a safe place to make an investment in land. We have the fixed deposit product as well that also gives good returns. Then we have TIBA insurance agencies. TIBA insurance agencies is part of Medifinance Limited, which is the investment arm of the SACCO. So through TIBA insurance agencies, we also offer members and even non-members many insurance products. We have professional indemnity, medical insurance, motor insurance. You can get all your insurance products. And the beauty is, as a SACCO member, when you get your insurance products from TIBA insurance agencies, you're making money. Because at the end of the day, the returns you get back as dividends come from where? TIBA insurance agencies. So it's a win-win. So the Health Law Amendment Bill of 2008, Section 15A, requires all practitioners to take a professional indemnity cover. So that is required of you. And from TIBA insurance agencies, you'll be able to get a cover as low as 6,000 bob. I'm sure you guys will do a bit of research. This is really affordable. And what TIBA insurance agencies does is they negotiate on our behalf. They negotiate with the underwriters on our behalf so that we're able to get good rates. So in summary, this is why it's very important for you not to leave here tonight before you join the Kenya Medical Association Circle, so that you start your investment journey, start your financial prudence journey by learning how to save today. As soon as you get your first paycheck, if there's anything you get from here tonight, is prioritizing your financial health. Because now we are at a time where we are not very sure of, or rather our careers are not very secure. And whatever we get here during our internship, once we are posted, may be what we need to jumpstart the rest of our career. So it's been a pleasure being here with you guys tonight. Please, you can continue to engage. You can reach out to Sheldon as well. He has a table outside. He's also meeting with you guys. Karibuni KMA Sacco.
Akiketi makofi yake tafadhali tena one more time. That was very interesting session. Nimesikia kuna loan na members. So there's a plan for loan, eh? Sawa. Niko na nyumba kuku isemaliza kutengeneza nyumbani. I will come to you guys. Na nimesikia kuna loan, eh? Mstari kama cha register tafadhali. So back to you.
Asante sana kwa MC. You guys have been providing information about the circle. Please, they accept even medical students. I might have joined a few months ago, so I'm also a member of the circle. So you can also join. They give you some maybe you can pay 1,000 per month because they understand you're still students before you get to that internship. So at this point, I want to welcome Dr. Marie Claire. So I knew Dr. Marie Claire when I was in second year. She was, I think, by that time in sixth year, as the MSACE president. You can become as the MSACE president. So I saw a CV back then in the same. Will I ever get to this point? She has now grown to become the secretary of young doctors, junior doctors network in World Medical Association. So we must be privileged to have such people here today. Because how many secretaries are there in the world? So Marie Claire to us. Thank you.
Thanks, Nyariki. I think it was also this year you stopped me on the corridor to teach you HIV as well as many as you want. But happy to see you guys here. The race ends. The undergrad race has come to an end, and now you're coming to a new phase of life. So first of all, I'd like to say welcome to the other side. As is the case when you finish a particular journey, when you're about to start a new one, I know there's a lot of anxiety on what the road ahead lies. You've heard today how balloting has changed. Now you have to put your luck in a system and spin a wheel and be told you're going to this center, and all the other dynamics that come into play. You go to centers where probably you are sitting next to each other for 6-7 years in the same lecture halls, in the same wards, and now you're probably in different counties. But the internship journey is also unique because in it, you get to grow as a person, because now the training wheels that you had in undergraduate have moved, and now you have to deal with patients, you have to deal with the emotions that come with providing care, and the Hippocratic oath that I heard you guys used to do as assignments in medical ethics. I think for us, your medical ethics was a different ballgame, so it's nice to hear when you guys already encountered with the Hippocratic oath. But that being said, equally, you shouldn't forget the friendships you made in med school. So please keep in touch. I mean, even myself today, I remember I had a desk mate who used to sit with in med school, Dr. Rahim. So if anyone is interested in internship in KLH, please talk to him, because one of the key things I've noticed being 3 months as YKL convener is so many of you want to leave the profession. And we still need doctors to be neurosurgeons, we still need doctors to be chronic MOs, we still need doctors to be politicians. So please, don't let everyone not run away from clinical practice. Medicine is so broad, you'll find your space. And as you go into internship, you've already heard of various opportunities. One of the things you need to take seriously is investing, because let's face it, as it stands currently, the salary you get as an intern is most probably going to be the highest salary you get when you're 0 to 3 years post-med school. Just call us with a speed. And that's why you keep on being told about saving and investments in each a SACCO, each an insurance policy. And some of these topics is what we covered in the pre-internship conference. And you can go to the KMA YouTube channel and watch it and listen to what people say and how they took their career trajectories. Because we understand some of you are reading for exams at the time, but it's on YouTube. I mean, when you're bored from watching Netflix, because this is the time people get to do interesting things, watch the pre-internship conference and hear other avenues of engaging in the healthcare space. Besides that, I think it's also important for us to acknowledge that we have a unique voice as young doctors, and many of us are active in social media. And as we are active in that social media, we should do things in moderation. There's an international code of medical ethics that was passed by the World Medical Association. And one of those clauses was on the ethical use of social media. And it's important because it's something we said in our pre-intern declaration, that now you're no longer a med student who can just go off on a whim and talk about whatever is fancy under the sun. Sometimes now there are people who will look at you, I'm sure, and you go home for Christmas over the weekend and be like, hey, Daktari, how do we tackle XYZ? And now you have to change from being the innocent med student to now being Daktari, sans Hippocratic oath, and giving advice on current trends. So that also means you guys also have to be aware of what's going on. You have to be aware why certain things like a health service commission is being talked about. You have to be aware why job insecurity for young doctors is there. What has happened to lead us to this point? So that when you're asked, you're the person, you're the one who knows where the shoe pinches. So you must be the one to best explain without a lot of jargon why these issues are there and what solutions are there. And if you're not in a position to explain, there are those ones who have walked ahead of you in the Young Doctors Network, in the KMA Executive, in the union, who are all approachable. All of us have taken time off, probably someone to go to a village, they decided to come here before they go tomorrow morning, to be here with you. And it's not just because we want to, it's because we care and because we want to nurture you into the profession as soon as possible. As Meriki rightly said, I started out as a class rep, and because I had teachers and mentors who saw that I can do more than being a class rep, I rose through the ranks. So I was in AMSUL, I didn't like AMSUL politics, and Sonu was the days of Babowino where it was more of a death sentence between Sonu than being a leader. So I ended up in Musake with someone, in my path as a class rep, I was told to coding. Many people signed up for a sign language class from my class, and the sign language class was being offered by the circuit, so they said, you're the easiest person. You told me to give the announcement, many people are from your class, so coordinate planning those sign language classes. And from there, the next year I presented in a KMA conference, and that's how I got to know about KMA, and that's how I got the courage to vie for president of the circuit. And one of the things we did then was to push for each medical school to be pegged in admission. And now you guys get to enjoy that benefit, because then we pushed for it. Now I'm in YDL, I want to push for you guys to start engaging even as soon as med school. That's why we keep reminding you guys, YDL is not just a refreshment school. Even in your chapters, JKUAT, I know a lot of the guys who started JKUAT who are now in different parts of the country, we still laugh and joke about JKUAT events, because I remember there was one event where we were all called on a Sunday, we were in our various hostels and we were told, come talk to us about electives. And nowadays we reminisce on those days because these were actually the good old days for us. So it starts off that way. The things you did in med school, whether you were in student activities or not, it's never too late. If you didn't engage in JKUAT, if you didn't engage in your class activities, there is no pressure. Every person with their own time, every person with their own marathon. But be aware that opportunities will always be there. And the moment you take the courage to take that step to venture into those opportunities, the more you grow as a person. Because now it's not just about having that BChB degree, it's about what you have that sets you apart. So in all that, I think my 3 key messages are: 1, it's okay to be scared, and it's okay to not know what the future lies. That's a normal part of life. 2, the courage to acknowledge the feelings that you're going through, the courage to ask for help is the starting of growing yourself as a doctor. And 3, don't forget, there's a reason they say laughter is the best medicine. With all that's going on, don't forget to see the sunshine and smell the roses. And even when you're being bashed in Gen Search, or yesterday we were doctors in Monaga who are saying in Gen Search they ask MBChB questions. But one of the doctors said, oh, by the way, I think I might end up in surgery and residency, the amount of Gen Search I have read. So those are ways of looking at things. And if you're not able to see the glass as half full, and you see it as half empty, reach out to those people who can make you see it as half full. So yes, those are my few words. Congratulations once again. Enjoy Christmas, enjoy the break. When the spinning the wheel and that cycle starts, you will start the rat race then. Thank you.
For that information, we really appreciate and recognize the fact that you spared time to come and join us today. So we are privileged to have Dr. Beatrice Wangari, who is with us representing the school administration. Dr. Beatrice has been our year coordinator through the years. She has been sending us those timetables when you're back in your holiday, just before you join school, you get an email update that this is what you'll be doing the next semester, which was really nice, and you get to prepare from that point. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome her to give us, to tell us how we've been as a class under her leadership, and to give us more information. Asante sana. A round of applause.
Yes, good evening. Just a few remarks. Let me take this opportunity. First and foremost, to congratulate you, officially congratulate you for this milestone that you've achieved this week. Many words have been said, but at the end of the day, what we are saying is that we know the journey. It is not an easy journey, it is no mean feat. But at the end of the day, the journey does come to an end indeed. Congratulations, guys. You've made us proud. Secondly, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to the medical fraternity. As you move on to the next phase of your lives, of your careers, I would like to urge you to uphold the values that you've acquired, during this journey. I urge you to serve the people of Kenya and beyond with the dignity and integrity that you have learned. I hope you have learned that from us. I have been talking a lot, especially the last 2 weeks. The last 1 week. So I will not take much of your time. Just wish you all the best in the next phase of your lives. Okay. The other thing is that, yes, up until this point, we've been your teachers, we've been your mentors. Well, we judge you. Sometimes we are a bit harsh, but just remember that it comes from a place of love, you know? We just want to make you the best that you can. We see your potential and we take that extra step to bring that potential out of you. So yes, indeed it is from a place of love and trying to make you the best that we think you can. The other thing I would like to tell you is that we have not stopped being your mentors. Feel free to approach us all the time. I mean, anytime you have our contacts, feel free to approach us. We may have been your teachers, but from this moment on, we're probably your employers, isn't it? So feel free to come to us with, we continue with the mentorship. It doesn't end because you're graduated, right? So otherwise, I wish you all the best. And I'm really happy to see that, actually I've never attended any of these finalists dinners, and I'm really glad today that I was here, because I can see that we're not really leaving you hanging. We are handing you over to the hands of my very able classmate, Dr. Kigondu, Dr. Posibori, Dr. Sorry, I forgot his name, the KMPDU, yes, Kamura. So you have people, you have societies that you're going to be a part of. There is a community out there that you're going to be a part of, and we encourage you to be a part of that. Take the advantage to be part of this community. I remember at dinner when I finished med school, I don't remember the kind of presentation that we are getting here today. I did not know about KMA Circle until much later, I did not have the financial advice that we are getting from this, these different gyms. Oh, well, we didn't have a KMPDO then. But I'm really glad that, there are people and societies who are taking over. We're not leaving you hanging. Otherwise, for those who know me, which is most of you, you know that I can talk a lot. I have a lot to say. But for tonight, I just want to say congratulations and all the best, guys. Do us proud out there.
Thank you so much, Dr. Our lecturers have seen us in our best and in our worst. So when she talks about a week ago, she might have seen us in our best. But we thank God that we are here. So congratulations once again to all of us. So Dr. Wangari, don't feel left out. This is the first finalist dinner that you're organizing. So we are, and we really appreciate KMA, KMPDU, KMA Circle that over the years they have reached out to medical schools and now we are supporting them. This would not be possible without their support. So we really appreciate. So at this point I also want to engage us in something little. So and all of us all of us like to surf the internet. So I'll give you the power to do so. So the password for this venue is Westlands 2018. And so that should be Pride Center, Westlands 2018. And the reason I'm giving you this is because I want to send you a link to our yearbook. So we did our first yearbook this time. And I want to appreciate Brenda. I think she has stepped out. So I was working with Brenda in writing that yearbook. And so before I bore you with so much talking, I want to share the link with you so that you guys at your free time you can go and look at that yearbook. we asked you guys to give a message to your colleagues, to our colleagues, and you did that. So at your free time, go and see what our colleagues were sharing. So we were not able to print the yearbook yet, but with time we hopefully will. And so I'm going to send a mail for our guests. If you would like to look at what we had to say, we'll share it with you later. As I do so, I want to request Innocent to go to the guests' tables with the microphone, so that our guests who have not had the opportunity to come to speak before us can introduce themselves and tell us a few words as I say. With whose support we've also had a success with the unit, so that you can introduce yourself. The mic is with you. Or you can actually come. Docs, you can come. You can come. So, Dr. Liz was the former KMA CEO, who is now the Assistant Secretary General of KMA. I met her way back when we were organizing when we were pitching the idea for the white coat ceremonies. You guys have seen the white coat ceremonies. So when we were pitching the idea to KMA, she was the CEO and they welcomed us at their offices. And it has now become a policy, and all the medical schools, the first year medical students have been introduced to those white coat ceremonies. So a round of applause to Dr. Liz. Please.
I think it's been quite a long evening, so I will not spoil too much. Just to briefly introduce myself, Dr. Elizabeth Gitam, currently serving as an assistant secretary. I also serve as the CEO of the Kenya Association of Private Hospitals. Just congratulations to getting here. There's always looking forward to the next step. The next step, there's always a next step in life. When you finish internship, there's a next step. When you finish being an MO, there's a next step. People always expect it. So celebrate each achievement, because you'll always have another hurdle to go through. So celebrate today, celebrate the fact that you started medical school and you are finished. It doesn't matter what you do past here, you have finished. As you go for internship, the only one thing I'll say on this stage is that have your personal values. This is the first time in life that you shall be alone. You know, previously, I think you've always had friends and you've had classmates, yeah? You've probably lived in hostels. This is the first time you'll have your own house where you have to pay your rent and you have to make sure you eat. So previously maybe your folks have been helping out. So this is the first time you'll be alone with your bank account, with your everything. So have personal values, and that is what will drive you through life. So it will not matter whether you become a lecturer, it will not matter whether you become a business person like me, it will not matter whether you become a politician. So whatever you'll be, if you have the correct personal value, you'll always succeed. So as you go along in life, just know who, like right now I must know who this is, so that I know who to associate with, and I know what I can do and what I cannot do. Thank you.
Asante sana Daktari. I also want to welcome Dr. Marie Claire. When she was here, she mentioned that she came with a classmate of ours. So at this point, I want to welcome Daktari to come and introduce himself.
So congratulations everyone and welcome to the fraternity on the other side. For me, it's just to say, just enjoy internship. It's the best time of your life. I know you've heard everything. It's the time you get to practice everything you've learned and just follow in the footsteps of everyone else. And like Maria said, please remember that many of us still need to remain in clinical practice. Let's all not run away. So, alright. Have a good evening, guys.
Thank you, Daktari, for that. So, I think all of us at least know our guests. We won't have so much time to introduce all of us as students, but I hope that you at least known our guests, and I've shared the link for the Young Doctors Network to you guys so that you can join the Young Doctors Network. You're now doctors, that is your platform. Here is where we start. So we've almost come to the end. I want to welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Simon Kigundu, who is also the KMA president. So I'm sorry if I preempt what Dr. Kigundu will say, but Dr. Kigundu joined KMA in 2000, the year 2000. So he has been a member of KMA for more than 20 years, and he has grown over the years from being a member of the, he'll tell you about the football club, for those of us who are interested in the football club, and he has now grown to be a Secretary General for KMA, and now is the President of KMA. So he's going to tell us why we need to join KMA, and he told me that a few months ago, and I considered. So I want you also to join KMA. So Dr. Kigundu.
Thank you very much. The incoming doctors, usually, and I think I'd given advice to Derek, people will have not passed, so they may not come, others, yeah. It's always best to do these things just before results come. Consultations can be vertical, you're consulting up, you know. It can be down, you know. You can also consult those who are below you. It can be horizontal, where you're consulting your fellow interns and things like that. So you learn a lot, especially from the nursing staff, for instance. Yeah, those first 2 to 3 weeks when you can't feel anything, you know, the nursing staff will teach you, you know. So that's good consultation. You need to be nice to these other staff, especially if you want to survive in maternity. You know, mandazi, kila siku, you are rich, you are paid a lot of money, you know. Mandazi, ongea vizuri with the nurse, you know, smile, you know. At that time, at least, make a hair freshener, your groom there. Yeah, so that it always does the trick. Yeah, yeah. And if you're lucky, unaweza pita na mmoja like me. You know, I got lucky. I actually got lucky in labor wards, so, and several years later, niko hapo. Take breaks. When you are off duty, take breaks. Go do nature walks, do nyama choma with your colleagues. Be friendly. Yesterday we were with Mary Claire at Muranga. We were talking to the interns till late in the night. You know, walitumbia nyama. You know, yeah. Be calling us so that we come to your internship center to you know, share words of wisdom with you, and you buy us food. You know, yeah, and we make sure. Yeah. So. My wife runs a rehabilitation center. It's called Nueva Esperanza Treatment and Rehabilitation Center. We do not want you to be our client. But should it be necessary, we have a very good 90-day program to get you clean. Clever doctors like you are at twice the risk of the normal population for mental illness and alcoholism and drugs. Hasten this descent into our rehab. So be careful, don't, if you feel like you're getting into alcoholism and things like that, seek help, and there's always help. Always remember, sisi madaktari, we are at a greater risk of mental illness, because you are clever and you know, those are the. So you need to be very eager to learn. Medicine is very hands-on profession. Those who become skillful become less stressed, you know. If you, by week 2, you've known how to do a cesarean section, for instance, you know, less stressed when they call you at night, I was in Machakos, you know, you get less. So when you enter into internship, go into the work, do those 20 cesarean sections that you are supposed to do during internship within the first 2-3 weeks, and then your life becomes easy. So just go, just do. Then you need to pray. Sometimes prayer is the only intervention. When you have managed patients and you do not know what else to do with the patient, you just pray, because the doctor treats. They say that it's God who cures. Inafikanga mahali ingine unaomba tu, ngoja bleed bana stitch, bleed, they just bleed, right? So it's good to be prayerful. It helps also you to reflect your life, so that you know that you have power over people, so that when they are sick, you get to help them. Over that time, it's good for those who intend to get a spouse like me, identify early during internship, the one you want to get down with. It's easier to grow with that one who knew you when you were broke. That is likely to last longer. So this is a good time to do, those breaks during internship. And as Brenda put it, start investing early. When you get your first salary, celebrate hard and fast. Make sure you spend hard and fast. But later on, invest a little. Join the circle. The circle is a good saving and gives you access to credit even as you go. When you join a circle, join when you have 4 friends. A circle works in the model of kusainiana. You get? So join when you're 4, and you are the only one. You're just signing among yourselves. As you grow richer, you are signing bigger and bigger. You get what I mean? Because sometimes it may be difficult to get guarantors. It's called guarantors. So when you're 4 who know each other, don't think because you finish school you know each other financially. Kuna wengine hapo watawaosha, watachukua loan waende South Sudan. And then you have to pay. The guarantors have to pay. Once you guarantee someone, because it is assumed that you will be able to know where they are. You get, they are your friends, That's the model of circle. But start investing early. Talk with your friends who are accountants, financials, see those things called money market fund. I don't know what, I don't do those. But, diversify and things like that. So buy land, buy an office or something, Yeah. Then you need to invest in skills. The edge you have over the others is that you have been trained in the rare skill called a doctor. It's a very rare skill. Only the doctor can become a sweeper, but the sweeper cannot become a doctor. Yeah. So as we were told by the CEO of KMPDC, is that you're pluripotent. Kama nikupeleka matatu utapeleka na title ya doctor. You get what I mean? But the earlier you get skills, the better. In the practice of being a doctor, one must continuously update their knowledge and improve their skills. So even as you're in internship, for instance, go and do ultrasounds. Ukiwa na ultrasound, hapo usianze kusema kuna sonographer na ngojewa. No. Just do the ultrasound. Just unaendelea hiyo kitu naona hata auoni kitu lakini with time, you may become the radiologist, or the radiographer. But these small skills that you learn, just keep improving on them. Like on YouTube, squeeze it's very easy. Okay. So that helps. Keep improving the skills that you have. Yeah. And when you're in pediatrics, go and try to do an exchange transfusion. Just do something. Yeah. Then extracurricular, you need to continue with the extracurricular activities. If you are a musician, you continue singing, Solfest, If you are a sportsman, you join Daktari FC. Daktari FC is the Doctors Football Club. Today we won how much? 5-1, I think. It was 5-1. Join. So every weekend you are coming, playing football. If you are just continue with the extracurricular. If you come on to a piano, you continue playing and join KMA choir. There's a KMA choir, things like that. Yeah. So do extracurricular activity. So anything that you have that makes you different is useful to continue. If you have writing skills, you write. If you open a blog, you tell us you'll be reading. If you have leadership skills, we have seen people taking up leadership. Like, for instance, that doctor is called There's one, the one who called us for Nyamachoma yesterday. Yeah? Brian Steve, yes, sir. Brian Steve Summer. Called us when his leadership is trying to mobilize doctors to form a Moranga division of KMA, you know. That's how you end up being a president some years later of KMA, you know. Take up those leadership skills. If you're a sport person, you said you do that. Research. Internship is a very good opportunity to do research. The number of things we saw, but we didn't do research. So you can get the East African Medical Journal and the KMA research team to assist you people. Research, produce papers, make sure you go for conferences, you know, all these things can be done. In internship, internship is a very nice time. Be innovative. Finally, the most important thing is that I would urge you to join the Kenya Medical Association. Kenya Medical Association is, as you have been told, a membership association, not a voluntary. And that's why we come here to try to beg you, you know, to join. But there's power in numbers. As Kabora said, the more you are in some, you are acting towards something, then the more likely it is for you to succeed. So KMA is a membership organization and it represents doctors, registers to practice in Kenya. Its twin mission is two. One, welfare of doctors, and two, advocating for the provision of quality healthcare in all. We have said madaktari wakiwa sawa, quality healthcare inafanyika, sio? So those are the two missions. We provide mentorship opportunities, and especially Kenya KMA YDN has shown you how to do that. And this young man here, you can say natokea vizuri, you know, he's even leading a finalist dinner. This mentorship, and you can get to network all over the place. The picture that Bosibori put there, you know, we were just sitting in Berlin, you know, me, the young ones, me, I was the oldest, you know. Those are the mentorship opportunities. By the way, it looks like a joke, but those are the mentorship opportunities that you have. My first entry point into KMA was when Dr. JKUAT, who was the then chairman in that year, 2000-2001, alitupeleka na gari akatupeleka Uganda, you know, we were KMA in the UMA conference. Mashika. Tulienda na Nissan matatu 18 hours, you know, matatu, you know. Yeah. So those opportunities, they just come because we were in the association, you know. And at Kalana Hotel, Kumwa, Nile, I don't know what. I think that's why I didn't leave KMA all these years, man. That I was in shock. You can go to Uganda for 3 days and live in a 5-star hotel without paying. Yeah. So mentorship opportunities are available. KMA has 12 thematic committees. And students normally engage across the country with a division. So if you are posted to Kisumu, you go and look for Mitei, KMA Kisumu division, and become the CPD coordinator. You know, and do something, and then with the time, the association, you grow in it, and you get more things. So we have divisions all over the country. And where there is no division, form your own. You know, yesterday we were having dinner in Moranga, as we said, and they want to form a division. Previously, Moranga was under Thika division, lakini madaktari wamekuwa wengi and Thika is far. You see, you have to use bus fare. So, form your own wherever you are. The one who want to go and form is a Turkana one also. I hear there are many doctors in Turkana. Kuna mtu alipostiwa Kapenguri? Waitachi? Oh, you haven't spun the wheel? Oh, just ask for Kapenguria. You know, you speak that way and ask for Kapenguria. Yeah. So young doctors are the backbone. In our social welfare committee is full of young doctors. And as an extension of these young doctors, I welcome all doctors to the Junior Doctors Network meeting, which will be held before the World Medical Association Council session April 18th, 19th. I think Mary Claire, Bosibori, and that will be hosting young doctors. Young doctors of the world discussing young things, you know, somewhere in Nairobi, you know. That's an opportunity to start kwenda majuu. Unajua kupata hizi mavisa. So you need to be attending those meetings as such. So at the end of the day, we want to use the Kenya Medical Association as a tool to do whatever you want. You know, if you want to be reach maybe. Yeah? You can use KMA as one of the, I don't know, committees too. So KMA is a tool. It's what you do with it that helps you with the social. So with that, I want to welcome all of you into this noble profession. It's all about the attitude. The glass is half full. Yeah? And for the next 1 year, you will be among the 0.5% of Kenyans earning above 100,000 shillings. Make use of that money very well. You know, it's almost like an investment. School hotel, you know, just ipange vizuri as you are incorporating all these other things that we have said, so that you become a better person. As we continue, as we are trying to continue championing for a health service commission. A health service commission is a body that posts every health worker all over the country. And it was there pre-devolution under what is called the Public Service Commission that you will be posted with. But that makes it a bit more fairer, easier to manage the human resources. We'll continue pushing for that, but also do your local part. Yeah, be good interns. Thank you very much. And I beg to leave. Tumemaliza hivi.
That very comprehensive and very important speech that you've given. I hope that you guys have now followed or retweeted the Kenyan Guinea. I gave you a password, so you should not have any excuse as not to do it. Yes, at this point, I want to call upon my organizing committee, the people that have set up this dinner. Have you enjoyed the dinner? Has it been worth your time? It's only this people that has enjoyed the dinner. So the organizing committee can kindly come to the front. So these are the, thank you, OMC. So this is the amazing team that has set up this. And you know, being the first one, must have had some challenges in coming up with the dinner. So for them to have accomplished what they have, can you kindly appreciate them all? So allow them to introduce themselves and the name and maybe and anything extra that they would want to say as a quick one, starting from Innocent. Don't say too much, time is already gone.
Okay, good evening. My name is Innocent Oduki. I'm not a finalist like them, but I've just come to gain experience and also have a pre-feeling on how I feel when my time comes.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Nasike Karani. Thank you all for coming, and we hope you enjoyed what we put together.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Cholangat Langat. Thank you all for coming. Yeah.
Hi everyone. Hi. I'm Brenda Maina. I'm also not a finalist. So I just want to say congratulations to everyone who's a doctor.
Good evening. My name is Blanket Emmanuel. I'm also not a finalist. I'm a 5th year student. Congratulations to our team. Thank you.
Thanks for that and for taking part in this organization. So Brenda is the person that is behind the. I hope you've looked at the yearbook. Do you like the yearbook? Is it what you expected? Okay. I know not everybody will like it, but that's what we had for you. So I want to welcome them to this point. No, actually, Innocent and, sorry I'm being biased to the guys. Innocent and Emmanuel, you can help us move the podium to that point so that we move
I
sukari, nampatia sugar sukari, nampatia sukari, nampatia sugar sukari, nampatia sukari, nampatia sugar sukari, nampatia sukari, nampatia sugar sukari, nampatia.
Okay, if everyone has one, we'll start. There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit for fire, ignites a candle and makes it whole. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world. Frustrated brother, see how he's trying to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been wronged and lied to, still holds a candle.
One last announcement. Dr. Mundia is here. He's the assistant president, or is the deputy president of KMPDU. He's offering to mentor anyone who's willing to reach out. So he's here, connect with him. If you are interested in business, he has done so much business. He's a dentist amongst the professional surgeon, but he's still some parts of this. So that is it for us. Thank you so much. Also, Nelly is here. She's from BANQUET. You can accommodate her and something like that. We can have fun. The bus will come for those who want to go back to Juja at around 10:30 up to 11.
Wewe ni daktari manze, jipambe. Uko na jukumu, ha? Ati, you can join the line, eh? You can join the line, Tumeuona. Ati, tuna dance namna gani? Umetutoa mbali, ukaturu. Hey, wewe mbele tunakufuata. Sawa. Tunafuata mbele. Unaangalia daktari wa mbele anafanya hivi. Usikujinda lako, ile tutakusifu. Congratulations to all of you. Tumeuona. Ati nini? Umetutoa mbali, ukatushika mkono. It's your day, it's your beautiful day, have fun. Tuende kazi kila mtu. Milele tutakusifu. Usiogope kama maringo, twende.
Haya, warembo mnaka wanafanya. Angalieni. If this one should be done. Hata angalieni wale, ona wale. Fanyeni tuone. Twende. Acha tuone hao.